So, welcome to an episode of Unleash Your Magic. Listen, this is an episode that I have been wanting to do for a minute. I was traveling and, things got busy in a good way. But I want to talk about how to determine whether an oracle card is going to give you what you need for a situation or a tarot card. What situation yields to you pulling a tarot card versus a oracle card. And what I will say is that first of all, with tarot tells a story, okay? In that entire deck of 78 cards, it begins with the Fool, and the Fool goes on a journey, all right? So tarot can unfold stories. It Tarot can identify patterns of behavior, patterns of thinking, patterns in your emotions. It can reveal patterns, and it's very specific, very telling, okay, for yourself. It can tell you what you already know. It can confirm things for you. The tarot cards can reveal even new information. Tarot can, I don't want to say tell the future, but it can reveal something that you need to keep an eye on or an eye for. Okay. Now, with an oracle, I guess I should have held up a tarot. And I'm just pulling off cards. Okay. So, tarot here. And then I have an oracle deck over here. Okay. A dragon oracle deck. Now, with an oracle card can kind of you can kind of look at it as the cherry on top of a sundae. A ice cream sundae is filled with ice cream, different flavors of ice cream. It can be vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and then within the ice cream, you can have fudge, falling off the side of the mountains of ice cream scoops that you have in the bowl. You can have nuts, okay, on top of the fudge. You can have even more fudge on top of that. There could be layers to your sundae. And then all of a sudden you get to the top and you see this nice little cherry that kind of accents the sundae. And that is how I know I just used food, but you get what I'm saying. That is how you can look at an oracle card. Okay. An oracle can complement the message that you've already received, the divination that you've already gone through with tarot. All right. It sets things off, kind of. Now, if you are just, you wake up one morning and you think, I wonder what oracle card would come up today. And you have nothing specific, then you can just kind of play around with the oracle. Just shuffle a card, pull an oracle card, and just see what comes up. So you can use the oracle deck, not just something in general. You can say it can be a Tuesday, and you can say, I wonder what kind of energies are here. What's going on? What can I just focus on for today? Pull an oracle? Well, this random oracle card says this is the silver lunar dragon. It bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. That could be your focus. All right. It's telling you on the oracle with words exactly what to focus on. You know? Now, going back to using both of them together, let's say you pull a tarot, you divine, you have a specific situation in mind or something specific that you really want guidance on. And then the Oracle card complements that. So let me demonstrate that for you just a second. Okay, so I'm actually going to use a real life example. Um, I pulled the Wheel of Fortune, not today, but this was actually a couple of weeks ago. And so I had pulled the Wheel of Fortune card, okay, for something very specific. And then I shuffled and I got the Silver Dragon. Okay. So let's just talk about just basic on the surface Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune could talk about how the wheel of abundance, of prosperity, of money, of wealth is turning in your favor. There's new opportunities that are aligned, that are profitable. These are new opportunities that you have been spell casting for. These are opportunities that you have been doing your practical steps for, and you've coupled that with your magic. So now it's time for you to receive. The Wheel of Fortune is now turning in your favor. All right. Now we already know, and I'm just going through this as an example. I'm going through this really quickly. We know that the Wheel of Fortune it, is very layered, just like with any other tarot card. Okay. So I decided to pull an oracle. Okay. And again, this is an actual example that I did a couple of weeks ago. And I pulled the silver dragon. All right. This silver dragon on the surface, it says, illuminates your potential with higher light, access untapped resources, look into your soul, see higher possibilities. So for me, I took that as the cherry on top with the Wheel of Fortune is yes, I have spell casted. I've done my part. I've done my magic. I've gotten to my magical cauldron. Now, this silver dragon oracle is reminding me to remain in the state, in the frequency of receiving. Receive what the Wheel of Fortune is bringing. Receive it. Don't just do, have live with expectation. Now get in the state of receiving so you don't self sabotage. Know that you are worthy of the Wheel of Fortune. Stay tapped in to what you already have. Stay tapped in and pay attention to what you have already done. Be open to all the ways that the Wheel of Fortune is turning in my favor. So you see how that can work for you with both of these cards? Now, listen. If you only had an oracle deck, does that mean that you're missing out on some message? Absolutely not. Does that mean if you only had a tarot deck, does that mean that you're somehow missing out on uh, a message? Absolutely not. You work with what you have in front of you because at the end of the day, you are the channel, you are the magic. The messages that you hold are already there. Your DNA has wisdom encoded for every single challenge that you face in your life. All right. These cards are ways and tools for you to infuse your magic into your daily life. And that's what we talk about here on Unleash Your Magic. So, if you have any questions about what I displayed right here, any more questions about how to work with tarot and or oracle decks, just let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this conversation as well, let me know that too. And if you're new here, just hit subscribe. You're already here. So hit the subscribe button. All right. All right.